Imagine biting into a juicy slice of watermelon. The vibrant red flesh, glistening with moisture, promises a refreshing burst of sweetness. As your teeth sink into the succulent fruit, the juice floods your mouth, and for a moment it's like tasting summer itself. The sweetness explodes in your mouth. It's a sensation that can instantly lift your spirits and bring a smile to your face. This simple pleasure is a testament to the incredible power of taste. Or how about a sour lemon? The bright yellow citrus fruit is a stark contrast to the watermelon. Just a small squeeze of its juice can transform a dish, adding a zesty kick that awakens your taste buds. Your face puckers up instantly. It's a reaction that's almost involuntary, a testament to the intense sourness that lemons bring. This sharp, tangy flavor can be both shocking and delightful. And who can resist the salty crunch of potato chips? Each bite is a satisfying mix of crispiness and saltiness, a combination that keeps you reaching for more. It's a flavor experience that's both comforting and addictive. These delicious sensations are all thanks to your tongue. This remarkable organ is covered in thousands of taste buds, each one capable of detecting different flavors. It's a sensory powerhouse that allows you to savor the diverse tastes of the world. It's the amazing organ that allows you to experience the wonderful world of taste. From sweet to sour, salty to bitter, and even umami, your tongue is the gateway to a universe of flavors. Without your tongue, food would be bland and boring. Imagine eating your favorite meal without being able to taste it. The joy of eating would be lost, and meals would become mere sustenance rather than a source of pleasure. Let's dive in and explore the science behind how your tongue detects all these different flavors. The process begins with the taste buds, which are tiny sensory organs located on the surface of your tongue. Each taste bud contains taste receptor cells that respond to different chemical compounds in food. When these compounds interact with the receptors, they send signals to your brain, which interprets them as specific tastes. This intricate system allows you to enjoy the complex and varied flavors of the foods you love. The science of taste is a fascinating field that combines biology, chemistry, and even psychology. Researchers are constantly discovering new insights into how we perceive flavors and how our taste preferences are shaped. So next time you enjoy a delicious meal, take a moment to appreciate the incredible journey that each bite takes from your tongue to your brain. It's a journey that transforms simple ingredients into a world of flavor. Have you ever really looked at your tongue? Go ahead, stick it out. See those tiny bumps all over it? Those are called papillae, and they're like miniature cities for your taste buds. Each taste bud is a cluster of special cells that act like flavor detectors. Think of them as tiny scientists in your mouth, always ready to analyze your food. They send signals to your brain, telling it all about the flavors you're experiencing. For a long time, scientists believed we could only taste 4 basic flavors: sweet, sour, salty, and bitter. But guess what? There's a 5th taste. It's called umami, and it's a savory, brothy flavor. Think about the rich taste of a tomato sauce or a cheesy pizza. That delicious savory flavor, that's umami. It comes from certain amino acids found in foods like meat, cheese, and mushrooms. So how do these taste buds actually work? Well, it's like a lock and key system. Each taste bud has special receptors that are shaped to fit certain molecules in your food. When you eat something sweet, like a strawberry, the sugar molecules fit perfectly into the sweet receptors on your taste buds. This sends a signal to your brain saying, "Hey, this is sweet." Section 5, sweet, sour, salty, the basic trio. These 3 fundamental tastes form the cornerstone of our flavor experiences. They are the building blocks that help us identify and enjoy the vast array of foods we consume daily. Detecting sweet, sour, and salty tastes is all about ions. Ions are the key players in the intricate dance of taste perception. They are the charged particles that interact with our taste buds, sending signals to our brain that help us distinguish between different flavors. Ions are atoms or molecules that have an electrical charge. This charge can be either positive or negative, and it is this electrical property that makes ions so crucial in the process of taste detection. When we consume food, these ions interact with our taste receptor cells, initiating a cascade of events that ultimately result in the perception of taste. When you eat something salty like pretzels, the sodium ions from the salt flood into the taste receptor cells. These sodium ions are positively charged, and they enter the taste cells through specific channels. This influx of sodium ions causes the taste cells to become depolarized, which means that their electrical charge changes. This change in charge triggers a signal that is sent to the brain, where it is interpreted as a salty taste. This triggers a signal to your brain. Salty. Sour taste works similarly. When you consume something sour, such as a lemon, the acids in the food release hydrogen ions. These hydrogen ions are also positively charged, and they interact with the taste receptor cells in a similar way to sodium ions. Acids in foods like lemons release hydrogen ions. These hydrogen ions enter the taste cells and cause them to become depolarized, just like sodium ions do. This depolarization triggers a signal that is sent to the brain, where it is interpreted as a sour taste. These positive charges trigger the sour signal. The brain receives this signal and recognizes it as a sour taste, allowing us to enjoy the tangy flavor of foods like lemons and vinegar. Sweetness is a bit more complex, involving a different type of receptor, but the principle is the same. A perfect molecular fit sends a sweet message to the brain. Sweet taste receptors are designed to detect specific molecules such as glucose and fructose, which are common sugars found in many foods. When these sugar molecules bind to the sweet receptors, they trigger a series of events that result in the perception of sweetness. This process is slightly more complex than the detection of salty and sour tastes, but the underlying principle is the same. The interaction of specific molecules with taste receptors sends a signal to the brain, which interprets the signal as a sweet taste. The ability to detect sweet, sour, and salty tastes is essential for our survival. These tastes help us identify foods that are rich in essential nutrients, as well as those that may be harmful. For example, sweet tastes often indicate the presence of carbohydrates, which are an important source of energy. Sour tastes can signal the presence of acids, which may be a sign of spoilage or fermentation. Salty tastes help us identify foods that contain essential minerals, such as sodium, which is important for maintaining proper fluid balance in the body. Our taste buds are finely tuned instruments that allow us to detect these basic tastes with remarkable precision. Each taste bud contains multiple taste receptor cells, each of which is capable of detecting different types of taste molecules. When these molecules bind to the receptors, they trigger a series of events that result in the perception of taste. This process is incredibly complex and involves the coordinated action of many different proteins and signaling molecules. The next time you enjoy a salty pretzel, a tangy lemon, or a sweet strawberry, take a moment to appreciate the intricate processes that allow you to experience these flavors. The basic trio of sweet, sour, and salty tastes is just the beginning of the incredible world of taste that we get to explore every day. Section 6. Bitter and umami, the more complex duo. Bitter and umami tastes are a bit more complex. They involve special molecules binding to receptors, but instead of directly triggering a signal, they initiate a cascade of chemical reactions within the taste bud cell. These reactions ultimately send a message to the brain, letting you know whether you're tasting something bitter like coffee or savory like a mushroom broth. Did you know that not everyone experiences taste the same way? It's fascinating to think about how each of us has a unique taste profile, almost like a fingerprint. This uniqueness is what makes food experiences so diverse and exciting. Imagine a world where everyone tasted food the same way. How boring would that be? Just like your hair and eye color, your taste perception is influenced by your genes. These genetic differences can determine whether you find certain foods delicious or downright unpalatable. For instance, some people might find cilantro to have a fresh, citrusy flavor, while others might think it tastes like soap. This is all due to genetic variations that affect our taste receptors. Some people have more taste buds than others, making them more sensitive to certain flavors. These individuals are often referred to as super tasters. Super tasters might find certain foods overwhelmingly bitter or spicy, while others might not notice these flavors as intensely. This heightened sensitivity can influence their food preferences and dietary choices. Your experiences also play a role. The foods you were exposed to as a child can shape your taste preferences as an adult. For example, if you grew up in a household that enjoyed a variety of cuisines, you might have a more adventurous palate. On the other hand, if your diet was limited, you might be more hesitant to try new foods. If you grow up eating spicy food, you're more likely to enjoy it as an adult. This is because your taste buds can adapt to the heat over time, making you more tolerant of spicy flavors. The same goes for other strong flavors like bitter or sour. Exposure and repeated experiences can help you develop a liking for these tastes. On the other hand, if you have a bad experience with a certain food, you might develop an aversion to it. This is known as a conditioned taste aversion, and it can be quite powerful. Even a single negative experience, like getting sick after eating a particular food, can make you avoid it for years to come. Our taste preferences are a complex interplay of genetics and experiences, making each person's relationship with food truly unique. While your tongue does the important job of detecting flavors, it's your brain that actually interprets them. The signals from your taste buds travel along nerves to your brain, where they're processed and interpreted as different tastes. But here's the really cool part. Your brain doesn't just process taste in isolation. It combines it with information from your other senses, smell, texture, temperature, to create a complete sensory experience. Think about it. When you eat a strawberry, you're not just tasting the sweetness. You're also smelling its fruity aroma, feeling its juicy texture, and even seeing its vibrant red color. All of these senses work together to create the full experience of enjoying a delicious strawberry. It's like a symphony of the senses. So there you have it. The next time you take a bite of your favorite food, take a moment to appreciate the amazing science happening inside your mouth. From your tongue's taste buds to your brain's intricate processing, it's a complex and fascinating process that allows us to experience the joy of flavor. Keep exploring and stay curious.